And that was nice. We were muted. Greetings, everybody. It's Deidre, and we're live. So, I wanted to talk to everyone today about like how public health has evolved over the last 20 years. It's been quite some time since I've been in school. If you caught any of my videos and read any of my blogs, I say that it's been a while since I was in grad school and got the public health degree. And it occurred to me, like, maybe I should share, some of my point of view of how healthcare has evolved. So a few things. I'm outside. It's nice today. And so I wanted to come and catch and soak up this sun. So before we start, I just want to say, like, if I'm squinting, it's because the sun is in my face. And that's so you can see me. So I can barely see you, but as long as you can see me, that's what matters. So, how has healthcare or public health evolved in the last 20 years? So when I was in school, way back when, go check out the blogs or the previous videos to try to figure out when. Maybe we'll share later. But when I was in school, the main concern was the 40 million Americans who were either uninsured or underinsured. Now we have the Affordable Care Act, or what some or most call Obamacare. There was also the issue of racism. While it was ever present and still is, health equity was something that was on the fringes, like not really talked about, but it's, front and center nowadays. The other thing was, really prepping for the baby boomers as they aged. What programs and things were in place to make sure that we were prepared for that. Now we're sitting like, oh, there's no Social Security. What are we all going to do? So, while we haven't maybe figured out everything, um, you know, sometimes it takes for us to like be in that space to kind of think about how we're going to, deal with it. Another thing is climate change. When I was younger, I guess you could say, it was called global warming. Honestly, I don't even know when it became climate change. Yeah, I don't even know when that happened. It just was like, this is what we're calling it now. But yeah, that's something that's definitely changed. The fact remains that we're just at this point where we have to like really make some decisions, because the straw is like right there at the camel's back, and it's not broken already. It's really maybe time to put the back in a brace so that we can, do some surgery and put the back in a brace while we like repair. Because there are just some things that haven't necessarily worked out well, while we have really definitely built awareness and acknowledge. For example, when it comes to things like racial health equity or climate change or strengthening communities, which are, definitely themes, especially now being National Public Health Week and yesterday was World Health Day. These are themes that are really important. But what I think we have to do is really ask ourselves some crucial questions about these issues. And for example, when it comes to racial health equity, if we know that race is something that is a construct, well, who invented that construct and why are we still using it? The other part is when it comes to health equity, does everybody understand the difference between equity and equality, and that they're not the same thing? They're not synonymous in this arena. And the reason why they're not synonymous is because things that are inherently different, when it comes to people, places, things, they can never be equal. They're inherently different. You would have to fundamentally change something about them, which is almost impossible when it comes to people. Um, it just can't, they can't be equal. Something that's different, two things that are different cannot be equal. You can, try to increase equity or get to an equitable ground based on the characteristics of the two given things and what's needed or what's not, but they can never be equal. So when it comes to equity, folks have to understand that it means that some people need to be given a little bit more than others so that we're all on equal playing field. That's what it really means. And so really making sure that the people understand that. I think what happens a lot of the times, people in healthcare or public health, like all of us who are like preaching to the choir and we're talking to ourselves, we understand these things. But are the people that we're serving, do they understand those things? And then that brings me to community. Do people even understand what community is? Like, folks don't interact like they used to back in the day. Do we really know our neighbors? We just came through serious, and still are in some ways. We're still coming off the tail end of our year of confinement. And in that time, did many people, depending on where they live, do you feel comfortable enough to like go to your neighbor to ask for a cup of sugar or something that you need? Or are you very isolated from your neighbors? So, it's really defining what community is. So knowing and understanding what community is so that you can, define, achieve, and maintain health within said community. And the other piece that I wanted to just kind of highlight and talk about was the issue of the climate change. We're all here sharing this space, but clearly, everyone isn't on the same page. As far as we know, of course, there's all sorts of research and scientists and astronomers. There's planets and things out there, but at this point, this is what we got. Earth is what we got. So if we continue at the pace that we are, and we're not really making meaningful change or really thinking through ways to slow down how we move, and not just being selfish and want to maintain certain lifestyles, then it's not going to be here for long. So, it's not just, climate change and the natural things that are happening, but how are we contributing to it. And I'm sure everybody knows, like, yes, 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 we know that. At the same time, this is really for, like, everybody. This is not for the folks who are, we're all talking to one another and we know the stories and what one another is saying. This is for, the people, the everyday person that doesn't necessarily always have the time to, have these sorts of conversations. So maybe they can catch this very quick video on, thinking about some crucial questions on how we, continue to evolve public health in a meaningful way. We have a lot of conversations. There are a lot of conversations happening, but sometimes it's hard to see where the action is. And the only way that people can come to an understanding is taking all that knowledge and all that information that, the experts and, the people with all the degrees and the letters behind their names, if we take that and we move it into action. There's a school of public health. They have a really awesome theme, and because it's my alma mater, it's Think, Teach, Do. And it really, to me, falls within that, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Thinking about it, it's that thought and that knowledge. I would actually say, like, think, do, teach. Then you have to do it. You have to put it into action. So then you can, once you put something into action, you'll understand it. So, shout out to Boston University for School of Public Health for Think, Teach, Do. I think it's a really awesome concept. You have to do. We have to get out of this way of, like, the talking heads. So that's all I wanted to share for information with Deidre. There'll be more. I'll probably have more of this discussion on the blog, as you can see down below. Make sure that you click that button. I don't know. Click that button to like, share, save, and subscribe. You can also visit me at www.deidresully.com. And I'm also on YouTube, Twitter. Well, this is YouTube. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Deidre Sully. And also make sure you catch my podcast, True Health Live. I have some dynamic co-hosts. These ladies are intelligent in their own rights and are doing big things in the public health world. So shout out to them. And you can catch us on True Health Live on all of your major podcasting stations. You can also go to deidresully.com and watch it and listen to it there. We're coming to YouTube soon. And so long, everyone. Thanks for joining me. And I hope to see some of you soon. Oh, and I didn't even see. I'm seeing these comments. Peace, sovereign needs. Elon Musk clearly thinks otherwise. Well, Elon Musk can think whatever he wants, because Elon Musk is part of a different set of people. The rest of us have to be here too. So it's not just about what folks like Elon Musk think. And I just mentioned the podcast, so make sure you follow us, True Health Live. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at True Health Live, so you can find me there. If you have he can fund whatever he wants. So you're right. So you know what? Let's go to Elon Musk and think about some things that are sustainable, that we can do. And I'm sure, like, people like him are doing things like that. But again, are we just in our own way? Or are we really doing it with intention, where we're in tune with what the everyday people need, and not just want, but what we all need? again, it's kind of like to the point of health equity. Does everybody understand what health equity is? So we can have all these programs and fund these things, but if there's not like a fundamental understanding, especially amongst the people who are affected in a real way or more affected, then what do we got? So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the forward. We'll probably do another one of these on 420. So catch me. It is 420, so you can probably guess what the content will be. And so we'll see you soon. Thanks. Peace. Upcoming content is a surprise. 420. Let's figure it out. Peace.